The sword swing, ladies and gents. This is Glenn here once again with another RopeRage video, and in this one we're going to be looking at the sword swing, the mechanics of the sword swing, the origin of the sword swing, and a few variations too. But first, here are a couple of very dramatic sword swing clips to get you excited for the video ahead. Alright, now that we're all wetting ourselves with excitement, let's get started. First question is, why is it called the sword swing? The answer, Star Wars. Yep. See, a couple of years ago, I was watching a Star Wars movie, and during one of the combat scenes, I saw this. Now, after being blown away by how spectacular this looked, I did some research and I discovered that this is actually called sword flourishing or sword twirling, and these are movements a sword fighter would do to display their skill using a weapon, to put off an opponent, and sometimes to even intimidate an opponent. So I started out trying it with my nunchucks first, because I could instantly see the likelihood of whipping myself across the face trying this with a rope. I then got the movement down, and then I started to use the rope. Now, a couple of things to remember when doing the sword swing. First, flip the wrist before the swing, not during the swing. This will help get the rope right behind your back, working your shoulder and elbow mobility for a fuller range of motion. The second thing is a key distinction from traditional jump rope techniques. The elbow leads the movement. Now, we're used to using our wrists to direct the movement of the rope, but for a good sword swing, your elbow should lead. Now, I know this probably sounds a little bit confusing still, so here, let me show you. As soon as you get this down, you'll notice a difference. With most jump rope techniques, you're using the wrist to lead everything. But with the sword swing, it's the elbow that leads, okay? So I'll show you the movement. The elbow comes first, and it's for this reason that the rope starts behind the back, okay? So you're really working on that mobility of the shoulder, and you can feel that lat pulling. So elbow is leading. On the way back, the elbow leads, okay? Elbow's leading, this is the movement. What you don't want to do is just isolate it to the lower arm, so your sword swing looks like that. Okay, that's not quite right, and it's easy to make that mistake because with jump rope training you're used to just isolating the wrists and working with that. But for this technique, you need to employ that elbow. I'll use the nunchucks to demonstrate, which are really good because it shows the isolation of the movement. The rope doesn't get in the way. Got the RopeRage nunchucks here. As we've said, the elbow leads. Pushing in and back. Alright, so what you'll notice if you see my feet in this next shot is that the feet are rocking forwards and backwards. So it's not just an arm movement, you're moving the legs as well. Twisting the lower half of your body like a corkscrew to transmit that energy from the ground up. It's pretty common knowledge that in sports like boxing, the power of the punch, the energy that's transmitted through these parts of the body actually originates from the lower parts of the body. corkscrewing the body like a wave. So, to demonstrate, if I make a wave motion with my hands like this, as my right hand goes up, it's pulling my left hand up. When it goes down, it's pulling the left hand down. Okay? That's the movement. In the same way, the same wave motion is in operation with the sword swing. The elbow is leading, the wrist is following. The elbow leads backwards, the wrist follows it backwards. Leading, following, leading. So if I demonstrate with a rope now, you see, leading, following. Okay, the rope starts behind the back. It's that snapping of the wrist that is really helps my nunchucks training, by the way, because it isolates wrist movements. It's the snapping of the wrist that gives it that slash. That is the hallmark of the sword swing. Right, here's where things get a bit spicy. In the same way that you can do that movement in front of the body, you can reverse it and do the sword swing behind the body. Same principles apply. The elbow leads, the wrist follows. This is not going to be what a lot of people are used to, but when you get that feeling, you'll know it. I'm going to grab my nunchucks and start with this first, just to make it easier to see. So, behind the body, elbow leads. Okay, rope now, same principle. And that's that. Right, so there you have it, the sword swing. A really cool rope technique that you can add to your training sessions as a good transition technique, or even if you want to engage a different set of muscles than you're normally used to. And if you really get the legs involved, you can generate quite a bit of rope power as well. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. And drop a comment down below to let me know your thoughts, or even just to let me know how your training's going. It's always a pleasure to chat with you guys in the comments section. I'll be back with more soon. But until then, all the best with your training and stay raging.